Hey, y'all, it's your girl Lyrics. Let me say that first. But I was watching my playback. You know, I always watch my videos back. I enjoy my own videos. Let me start there. I enjoy my own videos. I like to watch them. So, I was talking about, I had a little bit of part because I started my channel around the time that I was going through this whole thing. I'm going to just basically tell the story so you guys can really understand, how I almost became homeless. That's going to be the title. But the thing is, like, I was renting from some evil people. It was a whole family. I had a house before this house, and it was falling apart. They didn't want to fix it. So they forced me to move into a house that was like 2 times the rent that I was paying at the other house. So I was working at the time. And when I moved there, I was staying afloat, for a whole year. And then when that, when the virus, my hours, my hours got cut, extremely. So I was literally paying my rent. And then one time, I literally was like, you know what, I've been struggling. And it probably wasn't, I had got some help from a company that was giving like assistance. And, I have a friend that was getting it and they got it for a whole year. So I was assuming, in which you shouldn't assume. I was assuming that I was going to get mine for like a whole year or a couple months. But they only paid it for like 2 months. And I had ended up needing something for my house. So I had bought it, and then they said, oh no, we ended the program. So I was freaking out like, oh my God, they ended the program. So I talked to my landlord like, can I just give you the money in double next month? These people, they didn't like the fact that I stood up for myself. They just didn't like me. They didn't like my spirit because they drive off of ego. They very ego people. So they was like, oh, yes, it's a chance for me to get her out or break her. They seen that I was super strong. They wanted to break me. So I was like, at this time, I didn't even see the strength in myself. So I'm like, I'm a provider of my family. I'm the dominant one. And I'm like, oh my goodness, now they wouldn't even give me an opportunity to get them that money. Like I told them in like the next week. They was like, nah, we gonna file on you. We gonna take you to court. So when they took me to court, the judge, this is just, my interpretation of it. Is not facts. So that don't come for me if you see this video. But I feel in my heart of heart, they have some type of higher connection with the court system. And they didn't even really look at my case. They just granted it to them for real. Like they granted it. So then, then after that, they only gave us 11 days. So I was like, really? And like I said in my last video, it was Thanksgiving time. Nobody was doing apartment things at that time. So I had to pack up my whole house at the time. I was doing a trade business and stuff like that. I was doing customs and I had a whole office in my house. So I had to pack everything up, my bedroom, all my kids' stuff, everything. And then I didn't know where I was going to go. So I had to send my kids, with their fathers. And I was just, so stressed, like where I'm about to go. I got all this stuff. I paid all this money for all this stuff that I got in my office. Like I can't just throw my stuff away when I invested. So now I'm like stressed, And then I end up going looking. We end up going to look for apartments. They was like, because of this ongoing case of eviction, that they can't, rent to me. So I'm stressed, like, because of this stuff that they put on my record. They told me that it wasn't going to even, they told me that it wasn't even going to go on my record, right away. They was like, you would be able to find a place. It won't be an eviction if you leave by this certain day. But they put it on my thing, so people was seeing it, and they was like, no, we can't rent to you because it's a pending eviction. And I'm like, they told me it wasn't going to be on my thing because it's not an eviction. So basically, I was stressed. I was crying. I feel like I let my family down. I was going through a lot of emotions. I was not even wanting to be here. I was just like, I failed. And I was very hard on myself, And at the end of the day, I was like, I started praying, I started praying. This is the moment that I realized that God was real. I always believed in God, but I knew how real He is and His power. So I was like, you know what? I prayed. I said, God, I can't take it. Can I lay these burdens down? Can I lay these burdens down? Who gonna take them up for me? That's a song just channeled in me. But I was like, God, I gotta lay these burdens down. I can't no longer do this anymore by myself. I'm just not working in my favor, me trying to control it. Because I just been always a big control freak, because I feel like I always was losing control of my life because everybody dictated my life to the point where I never had any control. So I feel like the things I could control, I would control heavily. So I surrendered to God. I said, you know what? God, I can't take it no more. I can't take the stress. I can't take the worry. I can't take none of this. I just give it to you. And I know that you're going to work it out. I feel that you're going to work it out. And I just laid down and I went to sleep. Literally, I laid down and just was at so much peace because I knew that I wasn't going to carry it no more. So I gave it to God. And God was like, next morning I had this apartment. I was optimistic, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go see, and I'm gonna have an open mind. So I went and see. They actually worked it out for me. That's the place that I'm in right now. And I got the place that same day, like I said on my last video, but I couldn't move in until after the holiday. So I was still like kind of stressed because I'm like, after you have a certain time, or it would go into an eviction to get out. They gave me 11 days, and this was gonna put us about, I think, like 15 days. So I was just stressed because when you get that thing going through, I filed for an extension. They denied it the same day. They didn't even look over it. They was just working in these people's favor. Everything was working in their favor. So then I was like, you know what? I just got to have faith that God is not going to let the police come in and just throw out my stuff, because I had nowhere to put my stuff. Like, I could have lived in my car for the couple days, but I had nowhere to put my stuff. So the day come that I get to move in and get my keys. I got my keys. I was so relieved. I moved in, and I was not done yet. You thought that, I know y'all think this is the end of the story. You would hope that it would be the end of the story. So then I get taken back. They take me back to court because they came up with all these shenanigans. That they said that I owed this, I owed that, which wasn't true. They had no proof of it. And then the judge still ruled in their favor for like a couple $1,000s, like, and they had no evidence of it. It wasn't even true. I fought my case, and it just showed me that I have to get in a position of power so I can help my people. And then when I say my people, I'm talking about all my people that's going through. No matter the gender, the race, the anything, anybody that's going through it, I got to get there. That's why I really need y'all support. I need y'all support, with liking and sharing and subscribing so I can get to a place where I can go and help my people. I can go in there in them buildings and say, how much rent do you owe? And drop it for you so you can, and if you choose to move, I can help you find somewhere different. I want to be able to help my people that's in poverty, no matter the race, the poverty. I ain't talking about my people that can't do for themselves. I'm talking about my people that's literally trying their hardest but don't feel like they can stay afloat. That's the people I'm trying to help. So please just, a simple like and subscribe so I can get there, because I really want to help. I want to help my community. I want to help my poverty people and people that's living in lack. I want to help them. That's why even when I'm starting a spiritual candle business. Even like I'm going to be taking proceeds out of my business once it gets started to give back to the community. So even supporting in that type of way, I'm going to do, like, once I get it established, like 10, 20%, goes to, causes. Even I'm going to have period of times where I receive no money and it's just all going to go to the cause, because eventually, I got to keep some money so I can keep building it, but eventually once it start taking afloat, I can actually give all my proceeds to a nonprofit or something. Like, I really out here trying to do big things, but I really need y'all support. I need y'all to take this moment to like and subscribe, because it's free. It's free. It really is. Just the support of helping this channel grow is free. But take care, you guys. Peace.